Assistive technology for positioning and mobility, specifically the standing desk. The standing desk. While height of most seated desks is standardized, the standing desks are made in many different heights ranging from 70 to 128 centimeters. This is perfect example for school use, where a first grader might need the desk at the shortest available option, and a senior in high school may need it at the tallest. The height of a standing desk fits the height of its individual user. With seated desks, adjusting the height relative to the user can be accomplished by adjusting the height of the user's chair. So this is very different. When you're sitting in a chair, you adjust the chair, but a standing desk, you adjust the standing desk only. A standing desk may either be custom made to suit the height of the user or made with adjustable parts. And if a specific student needs the standing desk, is required to use the standing desk based on an IEP, then the desks may be custom made for them. If it's just a desk that can be used for anyone in the classroom, like in my classroom, we adjust it based on the student who is using it for that period. For writing and drafting, the angle or slant of the surface may be adjustable. So the desk can either be slanted towards you for writing and drafting, or it may be laid flat. If the desk is made for computer use, the legs may be adjustable. Types of standing desks. A height adjustable desk or standing desk can be adjusted to both sitting and standing positions. So as seen in the picture to the left, this specific standing desk can be used sitting, using a taller stool, or completely standing. Other options for sit-stand desks include smaller desktop models that can be placed on or removed from an existing desk to switch between sitting and standing. So whether it's the adjusting of the height and lowering the height for a chair, or raising the height to stand, or adding a smaller desk on top of your original desk that can be used to raise the height for standing. Some antique standing desks have an open frame with drawers and a footrail to reduce back pain. So having the drawer underneath can be easy for students to use to put their books and their supplies in. And the bar is a foot bar, as seen in the picture previously, where it swings back and forth to alleviate back pain if you're still standing still for a long period of time. It also helps with fidgeting. A hinged desktop can be lifted in order to access a small cabinet underneath, so that the user could store or retrieve papers and writing implements without needing to bend over or to stand back from the desk. So that is a great option, having the small cabinet underneath, so that the student doesn't have to sit down or bend over a lot to retrieve their items if they are standing. Standing desk price points. So the next few slides are different available options for standing desks and the different options they come with. So this is a standing desk. It's actually a wider standing desk, can be used for 2 students, and it also comes with electrical and USB options. This is a great desk if students are using an iPad, Chromebook, laptop, or even a desktop computer and prefer to stand. They can stand and have it charging and plugged in at the same time. It also has wheels, so it can be moved around the classroom. This next one is, as seen before, it is the traditional standing desk that most schools have. My school has. I have one in my classroom, and every classroom in my building has one for students to use. This one has a platform at the bottom so that students can put their materials there, as well as the swinging rail for the foot, so that relieves back pain from standing still. It also helps the student fidget and be able to move while standing. This next desk, although it's shown as an office setting, this can be perfect for students using a desktop computer and wanting to stand. It also has wheels so that it can be moved around. And lastly, this one is another traditional school desk. However, this one does not have the swinging rail. It has a stationary rail just for a student to lift up their foot while working. However, they cannot fidget because it does not move. This also has a little storage space for students to put their school materials in. So, standing desk origins. The idea of the standing while working is nothing new. In 1836, an American minister and professor, Ebenezer Porter, argued that the standing desk was a good remedy for those who have the animal vigor to sustain the exhaustion in occasions. Ernest Hemingway, in the mid-50s, kept his typewriter on the top of his bookcase and stood while he wrote, even though he had a perfectly suitable desk. So it is known that Ernest Hemingway loved to stand while working. As seen in the picture, he was standing using his typewriter. He was famous for standing while working. Why use a standing desk? So this is going to focus on the purposes and functions of why we use a standing desk. Across the country, schools are moving away from the traditional sitting all the time approach to a standing and moving environment. I know my school has done this. Every classroom has at least one standing desk, and I know a few classrooms do have two. Recent attention has been given to the media, to individuals in general, about the negative health impacts of sitting as opposed to standing. The benefits of standing extend to students in schools, including sustaining attention. Fidgeting and movement are positive for learning. Similar to the stability ball, desks that convert from sitting to standing desks that are tall enough to use for sitting or to be used when standing can be implemented in a UDL fashion to provide students with choices. So, as in my classroom, the student has a choice. They may ask me before we start either math, reading, writing, to use the standing desk, and they get to use it for that period. And the students know in the morning we sign up for the different periods, and each student gets the opportunity to either sit if they would like to sit and work, or they can go to the standing desk and be able to move around and use the foot rail to help them fidget. Negatives to using the standing desk. One of the disadvantages many people come across is sore feet, especially in the first couple of weeks as the body and feet adjust to the routine of standing for hours rather than sitting. I know in my class we only do it per period. Each period is 45 minutes, so it's not too long, but some students halfway through do get tired, and that is their choice to go back to their seat and sit down. Some standing desk users complain about the fact that they have needed to wear shoes with insoles while working at standing desks. This helps relieve the foot pain that they experience, but it also causes side effects such as increased foot sweat. Standing desks do not work so well with laptops. The space between the screen and keyboard can be significantly smaller than the distance between eye and elbow. Desktop computers, however, are better than laptops. So as seen in the different options for standing desks, there was one that was specifically made for a desktop computer, and that may be better for students, but using a traditional standing desk may be difficult with the eye to elbow distance, which is so much smaller for laptops. There have been reports of increased chance to get varicose veins as long as you don't stand for too long or stand perfectly still. The risk is low. And that is what's great about the traditional standing desk in schools, is that swinging rail that really helps students move their feet so they're not standing still for too long. I know standing still, they're still maybe being able to walk around and move their legs, but that option to swing their foot really helps their ankle and really helps their blood flow. Positives. So one of the main positives is it increases focus. Exercise is proven to be the most effective way to improve memory and focus. When standing at their desks, students increase blood flow to the brain without even realizing it. Standing students have the freedom to move around, leading to less fidgeting and more time focusing. Even when resting at the standing desk stools, students can swing their feet and engage their core muscles. As said before, having that swinging rail really helps the students stay focused. It improves behavior. The saying, thinking on your feet, is applied in the classroom. Standing desks have proven they reduce disruptive behavior problems and lead to happier students. It supports mental health. Another benefit for the standing desk in schools is it gives your child the opportunity to get moving mentally and physically. The light exercise is healthy for the body and mind of a child. It also helps release mood-lifting endorphins. At a very basic level, consistent exercise can play a huge part in a child's self-esteem and confidence. It strengthens collaborations. Studies show that people are more creatively driven, think better, and are more open to teamwork when standing versus sitting. Standing desks are great when students are working on group projects. The standing desks are easy to move around and push together to create a larger table for students to really spread out. When the environment of a project changes from "this is my desk" to "this is our table," students are more willing to share their work and ideas in order to make teams succeed. So this is great with the standing desks that do have wheels. And a lot of the standing desks are easy to move, but the ones specifically with wheels, as the first option I had shown, is big enough for two students to be able to work at, and it has wheels so it can be moved around and combined with another standing desk or even traditional desks so that students can work together. Prevents obesity. Sitting for too long decreases blood flow, slows metabolism, increases risk of obesity, impedes digestion, and thwarts energy. These chronic issues can be reduced by practicing standing more throughout the day. Standing helps burn 17 to 35% more calories than sitting, which can really add up over time. Studies show that standing more can also help prevent type 2 diabetes, lower cholesterol, and improve BMI. And I specifically see with my students and having the option to sign up when they first get to school really gets them excited. They love to stand at the standing desk. They love the opportunity. They love that they get to move around. And even if we're having a discussion on the carpet, we move the standing desk right behind the carpet so that they can still be at the standing desk and not be sitting on the floor. Maybe if they get fidgety sitting on the floor for a longer lesson, having the opportunity to go stand at the standing desk, move their legs around, really, really can help them stay focused, stay engaged in the lesson, and overall have a better experience learning.